let's just take a look at what happened since 1991 in American foreign policy. In 91, the wall came down, the Soviet Union ended, and I think from that moment, the United States, the government was like, yeah, we run the world now. We don't need anybody. There's no one's around. Putin, there's no guy to do anything. Russia's weak. They got nothing. So in 1992, Paul Wolfowitz creates a defense policy for Cheney, who was then, some people don't remember this, he was the Secretary of Defense for Bush 1. Then we get Clinton in 1994, a Democrat now. So, of course, everything's going to change. Sure. NATO would expand to Ukraine. That actually became public in 97, despite what we had promised Gorbachev and before that Yeltsin. We said, no, we're never going to expand NATO. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it was a promise by Jim Baker.
And then who came in as Secretary of State under Bill Clinton? Madeleine Albright, another fine specimen. In 1998, Clinton already had published a policy document to replace Saddam Hussein through regime change. But don't worry, we'll get to that later. Then we have the first war in Europe after World War II, which people don't really want to credit it with. That was the 1999 bombing of Serbia. Again, Madeleine Albright, Clinton. Wasn't she out there saying, hey, if we got to kill some children, it's okay? I recall her saying something like that.
And I recall the errant missile that found its way into the Chinese embassy and blew it to smithereens.
Yes. No, she said that later. She said it later. Here she said.
We have heard that 500,000 children have died. I mean, that's more children than died in Hiroshima. And is the price worth it?
I think this is a very hard choice, but we think the price is worth it.
Yeah, so there you go. That's Madeleine Albright.
That's a great clip to have at the ready. Yep.
That's Madeleine Albright.
That's a good one.
Now, at the time, during the Bill Clinton, our sax playing, boxer wearing Bill Clinton, Democrat president, who was number 2 in the State Department Russian policy? Come on, everybody. It's an easy question to answer. Victoria Nuland. Yes. She was in there in 1999. So then we get Bush in after the disaster.
That's when she was thin and kind of pretty.
Well, in an odd kind of way.
But she was.
So then we have Bush coming in 2001. He came in, of course, in January before 9/11. But don't worry, it was only a couple months. This is George W. Bush. Nuland then becomes Deputy National Security Advisor for, who was the vice president? Oh, there's Cheney again. Oh, what a surprise. Of course, then we read of the project for the new American century, subtitle, Rebuilding America's Defenses. We get 9/11. Whatever happened, how that happened, WTC-7 won't go away. And this became the public relations move to start all of the wars. Of course, we know West Clark 7, the big ones. By 2003, we needed to have Iraq, Syria, and Iran. In 2004, this isn't discussed very much, 7 more countries joined NATO. Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, Bulgaria, Romania, Slovakia, and Slovenia. Remember, no expansion, Russia. Nuh-uh. Now, who was ambassador to NATO in 2005? You'll never guess.
Who?
Victoria Nuland. Wow, what a surprise.
Oh, my God, you're kidding.
Then we have in 2008, that Bush was no good. Let's bring in our hope and change. Here's President Obama. And who becomes Secretary of State under Obama? Hillary Clinton. And who is the spokeshole for the Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton? Victoria Nuland.
She gets a lot of work.
She does. Then we switched out Hillary for Watermelon Head Kerry, and Nuland became Assistant Secretary of State and the point person on Ukraine. So then 2014, Victoria Nuland coordinates the coup. We have her on the phone call, F the EU. Hey, Klatch.
Yeah, and then with our CIA director somehow, for some reason, in Ukraine, hanging around, eating donuts.
Cookies. And, we'll bring in Biden. He'll deliver, he'll midwife this thing. He'll lube the baby. It's all going to be great. Who else enters the scene? Sullivan, Blinken. So we got the whole team in there. Now, Trump comes in 2016, and I think he was he was still kind of perpetuating this policy by reluctantly, I guess, but eventually sending arms to Ukraine, though not of the nuclear variety. And he thought he had a pretty good
bragging about it.
And he thought he had a pretty good relationship with our dancer over there, our actor Zelensky. And right away, of course, it was a horrible phone call, and he's no good. And they went crazy over Trump not wanting to do what they wanted him to do, but he did relent a little bit. So then we get 2021 Biden, who, remember, he helped overthrow Ukraine. All kinds of shenanigans with his kid. And again, Sullivan and Blinken, everybody's in. Putin even tries to get a peace treaty. Oh, let's send in Boris Johnson to intervene. It's the same policies, the same people. And again, Nuland got promoted. She was on point for the war of 2022. Biden calling for regime change in Russia. And now, do we understand and do we find it strange or not that Dick Cheney endorses Kamala Harris?
Wow. It's like a Shaggy Dog story. That was good.
Thank you. This is the reason.
I like the way you wrapped it, because I was waiting.
You're waiting. Well, where's he going to end it? He better end it now.
I was thinking, where's he going with this? I thought it might be something, just a minor thing, but to bring it back to Cheney.
That's it.
And him endorsing Kamala Harris, which is an abomination for any Republican at his level.
Exactly.
Yes. Congratulations. That's one of the best tales you've told so far.
Woo!
It was a good one.
Win. Oh, a rare compliment.
It was worth complimenting.
Oh,
it was good. Yes, indeed. In fact, that you nailed it.